What do you have to say to the fans about?
I have probably the best chili.
Good luck. You know, it's going to be a tough battle here.
Kicking George's ass.
Tyson says otherwise.
We're beating the guy from the can, man.
Hey, where you going, man? Hey, man, you gotta get in there.
Hey, can man, don't do that.
Perfect, yeah.
That one. Thumbs down. This one right here. Thumbs up.
Even after what you put me through, if he makes you
Welcome to episode 27 of The Weekender. I'm Brandon Roberts with my co-host Jesse Lucero.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome every week.
Yeah. Hey, we're on number 27, man. That's really exciting.
Neither one of us have been fired, so I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Hey, so what'd you think of the chili cook-off?
It was good. The only thing I didn't appreciate is Beta and Tyson paid me to not talk about the chili.
Their secret recipe?
Well, yeah. So, but it was really good.
I hear the recipes on the back of a can, but
Yeah.
I don't know. So hopefully we're out there to try.
Well, they
it
didn't pay me enough, so.
They didn't pay enough,
Yeah.
so you leaked it. All right. And then obviously you had Java with Jesse.
Yeah, it was really good. We covered Google and how to set up your pages
Mm-hmm.
and how important SEO is to keep being found online.
Very
So
good. And
that's really good.
I think that can tie in a little bit to one of our topics we're going to talk about a little bit later
Yeah,
too.
covered.
And then we had a great sales meeting. I say it's great. Anytime I speak, I say it's great. So
You know, it was a great topic.
yeah.
And having Sanders in the office is always great. You know, he's really on point with everything that he shares. Yeah.
So I don't always agree with him, but you know that's just because he's an attorney and that's my job is just to rile him up a little bit. But it was all good stuff. If you missed it, we had a fireside chat. And we talked about the RPA and we talked about possession and repairs and damages and different things like that. So if you missed that, that's up in the units tab under the agents of signature, or you can get it in your email through the newsletter that comes out weekly.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, so what's up with all these shirts?
These shirts, so we redid the Signature Strong shirts. It's a newer material, it's a lot lighter. And we actually, instead of just getting one type of shirt, like men's, we got men's and women's, all sizes.
This one's men's.
We gave you a lady shirt, but it's okay, it fits you well.
Yeah.
And then we got the Signature Strong shirts, or the Signature Life shirts. These are going to be available come Tuesday in the sales meeting. We got limited sizes on the Signature Life, but we've got all the sizes on the Signature Strong.
Yeah.
They'll go for $20 a piece, but all the proceeds go to the Signature Strong Foundation that we've started.
So our leaders' lunch, many of them had a.
Everyone got
Signature lunch,
one that was at the leaders' lunch, yeah. So that was pretty fun. That's why we've got limited sizes, but more are on order. That was kind of hard to say. More are on order. So anyway, get your signature apparel. We always wear these when we do any volunteer work, and these are just great to wear around.
I can't wait for Signature Life sneakers and belts and buckles. And
Well, that's a long ways out, but so you know, we were talking earlier. We were trying to figure out what would we want to share with everybody today that maybe could help you in your business and that. And a lot of times we talk a lot about the digital stuff and the social media stuff. And I thought, let's take this a step back and let's talk about prospecting. You know, as we're going into the new year, we've got the market's picking up, and if you're not getting your fair share, it's because you're not working.
That's the truth.
We talked about prospecting. We said there's two types of prospecting. We've got what's called passive prospecting and what's called aggressive prospecting. Passive prospecting is when you wait for the consumer to come to you. Aggressive prospecting is when we go to the consumer. Right? And so a lot of times what we do on social media could be considered a passive type of prospect.
Well, it used to be considered passive.
Right. But we're going to talk about some of the ways we can make it aggressive.
Right.
Passive is still important to give you balance in your business, but aggressive prospecting, where we go to the client, actually gives you control of your business. Because if I told you today your life depended on you coming back with a listing today, would you go sit an open house?
Depends.
It depends.
Yeah.
Would you go send out a mailer?
Probably not.
Probably not,
No,
right?
not at all.
Because you don't have any control and you can't get a result today if
Yeah.
you want. So if I was going to be aggressive, then I would get on the phone and start calling people.
Mhm.
If I really gave it thought, I could say, I want to get really aggressive. I want to go to the people that I know are going to sell their house. They have an immediate need. Those would be like your for sale by owners and your expireds
Yeah.
and your notice of defaults. So sometimes those are a little tougher calls for people,
Mhm.
but they're maybe high risk, high reward type calls.
What if you sat in an open house, did your cold calling, put out your signs,
Right.
just compounded all these strategies.
activities?
Yeah,
Right. So an open house is considered a passive form of prospecting.
it can.
On the surface, if you just put up your signs
You
and
sit
you
down.
just and you just hope people come in, you could sell that house, you could get a buyer, you could get a seller, you could get all that stuff, but you could also sit there with nobody coming in,
Right.
right? So there's a couple ways you could turn that into aggressive, like you just mentioned. Get on the phone and prospect during your open house.
Get enough signs.
Get enough signs
Yeah.
put out there. The other thing would be leading up to your open house to actually go knock doors and invite people to the open house. And when you're actually knocking doors to invite people to the open house, that's really not your goal.
Right.
I mean, great, if they come, your goal is really you're looking for buyers and sellers,
Mhm.
right? And so the script basically would go, hey, my name is Brandon, I'm holding a home open over on XYZ Street on Saturday, and I wanted to personally come by and invite you, give them the flyer.
Right.
By the way, when do you plan on moving?
Right.
Oh, you're not moving? Good for you. How long have you lived at this address?
Mhm.
Where'd you folks move from? If you were to move, where would you go? See what I mean?
Mhm.
And that way you turn every one of those into an aggressive type of prospect.
Well, then you also think about Facebook, and like I get agents that say, well, I'm really busy, but I'm not seeing the results. But then how often are you using Facebook?
Okay.
What frequency are you posting? So if you're having an open house and you're doing the door knocking, and then you're gonna do some cold calling in there, and then you start posting about the open house on Facebook, then that would be an aggressive.
You'd be reaching out a little
Yes.
bit more, running ads
Yeah.
to. So here's the thing, and you brought up a good point. Nothing works in great results when done only once,
Or a small
right?
frequency. Yeah.
So if you're going to run ads, you have to do that consistently over time to get results. You can get it the first time you run
Right.
an ad, but overall it's going to come from the consistency of doing it. Just like your cold calling, just like your prospecting calls, just like your door knocking, just like your open
Yep.
house, just like anything you do on Facebook or Instagram or anything else, it's the consistency over time,
Mhm.
right?
That's true. And then also depending on which platform you are going on, like for example, Facebook, it used to be considered a very passive platform to use. But now with the new invention of Messenger, you could actually message people directly that are looking at your account.
So there's the key. How do you make social media into an aggressive form of prospecting?
Right. Text
You-
messages.
Use the messenger, use the other ways to communicate through that platform directly with somebody
Yeah.
and asking them for business.
Well, the other thing too is, if you were to go on Google, that just seems to be closer to a sale. So
Mhm.
people that are searching for your product or your service are closer to a sale than just interrupting on the feed. Like Instagram could be considered television because
Mhm.
it just interrupts you. It doesn't mean you're interested. But if you're actually searching, like setting up your Google page and being found, they're searching, so that's a lot closer to a sale.
But see, that's where you're talking about setting up your Google page like you did in the
Mhm.
Java with Jesse.
Yeah.
And getting the SEO because you want
Right.
to be found by the people that are looking to buy or sell real
Right.
estate.
And then the other thing too is if you want to be passive, if you want to be really passive, set up $1 a day budget on your Facebook advertising. Like that's extremely passive. But that would probably only go to people that you probably went to school with or you live with or I don't know.
Okay.
That's sure.
So what would you recommend? I mean, what would be a good amount to spend on a daily basis?
Okay, so to target your sphere of influence, I would definitely spend $1 or $2 a day because you're not going to have a big budget. And you could probably...
That just keep you front of mind awareness, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, with your videos. So you're always showing up. If you're looking to target the city, anything over $5 to aggressive would start at $20. Would start reaching more of the city. So
Okay.
that's a lot more aggressive.
Okay, so if you figure a 30-day period, that's $600, right?
Correct.
So $600 a month, and you think, oh, wow, that might be a lot of money. But if you want to look at it this way, I always tell agents coming in, you're starting your business, you have prospecting costs one of two things. It either costs time or it costs money,
Right.
Your aggressive prospecting is typically free because you're using your time, and the passive is where you're going to spend some money.
Right.
You start off with your aggressive, you sell stuff, you take a percentage of that and you put it towards your marketing and your brand.
7%, remember?
7%.
Yeah.
Okay, and I would even say, hey, go up 10 or more even, because if you look at it this way, a lot of people start out at companies with a split, right? And part of that value proposition of that split company is we pay for advertising. But the advertising they pay for is for the company brand, nothing directly to that agent, right? Make sense? And so they're paying 40, 50, 30% towards marketing that doesn't really directly influence
Well, it
them.
doesn't brand them.
Right.
Yeah.
And here you're at 100% company, why wouldn't you take a percentage of that, right? And put it towards your marketing in the way that works for you.
Right.
So if you're making sales, $600 should not be that much money on a monthly basis to apply towards getting more business.
So let's say you're starting out, but you don't have the 600. What would you recommend?
I would get on the phone.
Okay.
I would get on the phone
That's
and I would
free.
use the free services like the messenger and text message, and I would
Yep.
communicate with the people I know, and I would start reaching out to the people I don't know, and I would start working for sale by owners and expireds. And that might be intimidating for some because they say, well, they get a lot of calls.
Yeah.
Well, if every agent did their job, they'd be getting 14,000 calls a day, and they're not. So,
Yeah.
and they are listing, so it's about putting in your consistent to get your fair share.
And that's one of the things I notice is that we're 2020 and most agents know about how to set up an ad. They kind of know how to do that. They know how to post on Facebook, they know how to do all these things, but what's happening, there's a flood of information attacking us, and it's coming from all different ways. So what happens is they're so overwhelmed that they'll post on Facebook once, they'll do this, and then for the rest of the week it just goes silent.
Right. There's too much noise.
But if you would just stay consistent and stop feeling as if everybody's doing this, that's not true. The consistency in 2020 has dropped online. So if you just take advantage of that and you're just more consistent than the average agent out there, you're truly going to succeed.
Yeah, make sure you put your weekender out every week.
Yeah,
Right?
there you go.
But it is the consistency. It takes some planning, Put that in your schedule. I mean, we scheduled the time to shoot this call, so it's hard-coded, so we know that we're going to do it. If we did, because we didn't early on, right?
Right.
And we'd be like scrambling to try to get something done,
Yeah.
but now we can be prepared for it. So
Exactly.
just be consistent, plan out your day,
Yeah.
and plan out your week, and I think
Yeah.
you're gonna get great results.
Plan it out. Plan
Mhm.
is important. And create an aggressive situation for your marketing. Like, I'm going to do an open house, but every day I'm going to post on Facebook. Along with my open house, I'm going to show up to Mondays for cold calling,
Yeah. A
Like,
successful business has a balance between the two.
right.
You don't want to kill yourself on the one.
No.
You want to balance yourself out so that you have that.
Mhm.
Early on, you may have more time than money, so it might be weighted a little bit more towards the aggressive stuff. Later on, you're going to balance that out. And if you're having reservations about that, come to the Southwest office Mondays at I think 9 or 9:30. Is it 9?
9.
9. I
Yeah.
think Tamara and Tyson do their mastermind, which is on prospecting and that's a great way to do it as a group and kind of get over some of your fears.
It
So,
works.
It works.
It works. And I would say you do this consistently, results start to show up after, sometimes if you're lucky, within the first week. But I noticed 90 days.
Yeah, here's the thing, it can happen day one, but sometimes it's better if it doesn't, because you're gonna build some habits and you're not gonna think it's that easy and you won't get frustrated down the road. I had a friend one time that got into real estate, and the first day he went out and knocked doors, got a listing. You know what he did after that? Never knocked another door. I don't get it, it worked, But anyway, so I would say stay focused on your business plan going through this year. I mean, we're all the way through January now, and about to start February. We're getting close to halfway through the first quarter already.
Yeah.
And so hopefully you're on track. If not, set some time to sit down with your broker and go over your plan and see if we can help get you on track. So anything else you want to add?
No, it's been a great week.
It's going to be a great
Thank
week.
you, everyone.
Next Tuesday, make sure you're at the sales meeting. Couple big things, right? Number one, there's a new tool being added by GLVR,
Right.
which they're changing their name actually to Las Vegas Realtors. So that'll be a little easier to say. But there's a new tool called Remind, and we're actually going to have somebody from the board here to demonstrate that and what it can actually do for you. And it's supposed to be pretty powerful. So
I'm excited.
yeah. So be here for that. The other thing is the mortgage company has got an announcement that they're going to be laying out next week too, which is going to be exciting, and there's going to be a lot of benefit for you guys. So you want to be there, be one of the first ones to hear it, and it should be a great meeting. And if we don't see you before then, we look forward to seeing you on Tuesday.
Thanks, everyone.
I can say that
This looks like microwave chili. I just.
I know this is Tyson's because it's not as warm as the rest.
Just getting ready for the chili cook-off. Getting our ingredients for the chili cook-off for the Southwest office. So just got back from Walmart, got our ingredients. This isn't a part of the chili. That's not gonna go in the chili, but we're gonna be drinking that while we make it. Can pass out $4. But these are our main ingredients right here. Yeah, dog food. Alright, so stay tuned. We'll just be chefing this up for tomorrow, winning the chili cook-off Southwest Signature Challenge.
Honest George. Okay, so we can.
So we all knew that was microwave. I just want to point that out. Everyone knew.
Everyone knew.
Okay. We all knew which one was yours.
Okay, the winner is. Ta-da! Denise Gubler!
So we got first place.
Almost.
There's a little bit of tampering. Of course, I'm eating. This is my chili, obviously, because it's the best.
Yeah.
We had all. They're all great.
They were all really good, huh?